If you're evaluating desks or consoles for a mission-critical environment, think beyond the purchase. Think life cycle, think support, think decades. The best solutions aren't just the ones that look good on day one. They're the ones that still work quietly and reliably 20 or 30 years from now. Hey guys, I'm here today to talk about mission-critical desk buying, trying to give you some assistance in considerations of when you're looking to buy desks for trading floors or control rooms. Right now, a lot of organizations are investing in new desks, consoles, and control room environments. And on the surface, it looks like a furniture decision, but in a mission-critical environment, it's not. It's an operational decision because a desk is not just where people sit, it's where decisions are made, where information is processed, and where mistakes either happen or don't. And more, what I'm hearing from clients is this. They're not necessarily looking for a desk that works just for today. They're looking for a solution that will withstand and adapt to the next 20 to 30 years of operation. That changes how you evaluate everything. So today, I want to walk you through the main concerns you should be evaluating, or some of the main concerns that you should be evaluating before you buy desks for a mission-critical environment. Not from a catalog perspective, but from a performance perspective. Okay, number one, future flexibility. The first thing to think about is flexibility. Not just can this adjust height, but can this system adapt to new technology? Can it handle more screens, different configurations, changing workflows? Can you configure it without replacing everything? I'll continue on and then I'll come back to it. It says, because here's the reality. Your technology will change faster than your furniture, but in mission-critical environments, your furniture is expected to last decades. So if your system is rigid, you're locking yourself into today's assumptions for the next 20 to 30 years. You want a platform, not a fixed solution.
Hey, have you noticed how complicated workspace planning can get? Between priorities, costs, and endless decisions, it's easy to lose track of what really matters. At NovaLink, we cut through that complexity with a product and a process designed to simplify the journey. Our experienced team walks with you every step of the way, bringing knowledge, guidance, and a practical plan you can trust. If that kind of support sounds right for you, just click the QR code or see the link in the show notes. All right, back to the conversation.
Point 2, durability. Second is durability. In a typical office, a desk gets used maybe 6 to 8 hours a day. In a control room, it's 24/7. Multiple operators, constant use, continuous adjustments. And I'll also say that in a trading floor, it's not 24/7 necessarily. However, the amount of abuse that trading desks and drawer units get would surprise you. It's a very, intense workplace. You get a lot of passion involved, and sometimes that passion, gets taken out on the desks. So you need to ask, is this built for continuous duty cycles? Is it built for, a rugged, tough environment? Users who are leaning against the desk, pounding on the desk, climbing on the desks, moving those drawer units around, kicking them, all the emotions that come out during the day in a trading floor can be quite exciting. So is this built for continuous duty cycles? Will it still perform the same way in 5, 10, 20 years? And what actually fails first and how often? Because if your expectation is a 20 to 30 year life cycle, durability isn't optional, it's foundational. Point 3, reliability. Closely related but different is reliability. Durability is about how long it lasts. Reliability is about whether it works every single time for decades, especially when you're dealing with height adjustable systems, integrated monitor mounts, and electrically actuated components. You need to know, is this system proven in real-world environments? Are components standardized and replaceable over time? Will parts be available years from now? Is it dependent on software, or is it self-contained and stable? Because over a 30-year life cycle, complexity becomes risk. And in mission-critical environments, simplicity is what scales over time. Point 4 is warranty and what it really tells you. Now let's talk about something that often gets overlooked or misunderstood. Warranty. Most people treat warranty as a checkbox. But in mission-critical environments, warranty is actually a signal. It tells you how confident the manufacturer is in long-term performance, what they expect to fail and when, and how they support you when something does go wrong. So instead of asking, what's the warranty, ask, what components are covered and what's excluded? Is the warranty aligned with a 24/7 use case or a typical office environment? Are replacement parts readily available and for how long? What does service actually look like in practice? Because if you're expecting a system to last 20 to 30 years, but the warranty is built around a much shorter life cycle, that gap matters. And ultimately, you're not just buying a desk, you're buying into a long-term support model. Point 5, equipment accommodation. Next is something that gets underestimated all the time, equipment accommodation. Most desks are designed first, and then people try to fit equipment into them. That's backwards. You should start with what equipment needs to live at the desk now and in the future. What needs to be visible, reachable, or secured? What might evolve over the next decade or two? If the desk doesn't integrate these cleanly, you end up redesigning around it later. And over a 30-year horizon, that becomes expensive and disruptive. A good mission-critical desk is not just a surface, it's an evolving integration platform. Point 6 is ergonomics that are simple to use. So we're going to talk about ergonomics a little bit. In mission-critical environments, ergonomics have to be simple because over years and decades of use, operators won't use complicated systems, training will change, teams will rotate. So ask, can someone go from sitting to standing with one action or as little actions as possible? Are sight lines correct without constant adjustment? Does a system remain intuitive even for a new operator 10 years from now? If ergonomics require effort, they won't be used. They'll be a distraction. And over a long life cycle, simplicity is what ensures consistency. Point 7 is cabling and infrastructure. Then there's cabling, which is never exciting but always critical, especially when you think long-term, because over 20 to 30 years, equipment will be replaced, systems will be upgraded, cabling will evolve. So you want to evaluate, is there a clear, accessible path for power and data? Can cables move the system without strain? Can technicians access and modify infrastructure without dismantling everything? Because a desk shouldn't fight change, it should support it. And finally, finishes. This is where most conversations tend to start when talking about a new facility, but it should be where they end. Yes, finishes do matter, but if your goal is a 20 to 30 year solution, performance comes first, function comes second, finishes come last. Because finishes will age, technology will change, but the underlying system, the structure, the movement, the integration, that's what needs to endure. Now, I would actually put a 0.9 in here, and that would be having a partner manufacturer, supplier of these desks who works with you to achieve your goals and to support you and to be there when you need them. In closing, if you take one thing from this, don't think of a mission-critical desk as furniture. Think of them as long-term operational infrastructure. Infrastructure that needs to perform not just today, but for decades. And before you buy anything, ask yourself, will this adapt over time? Will it still perform under constant use? Is it supported long-term? And will it hold up mechanically, operationally, and contractually? Because in these environments, the goal isn't just to solve today's problem. It's to avoid creating tomorrow's. I hope you enjoyed this one.
Thanks for checking out Workspace Design Lab. If you're an architect, interior designer, or workplace professional looking to stay ahead in ergonomic office design and modern workspace interiors, make sure to follow the show on your favorite podcast platform. For more resources on sustainable office furniture and human-centered workspace design, visit us at NovaLink.com. Until next time.